Hello? Dad? Is that you? Are we in there? Looks like we are. What's up, friends? How we doing? It is Friday of Memorial Day weekend, I realized like 20 minutes ago. So that's cool. But yeah, we made it. Seems like no technical difficulties to start with today at the very least. And yesterday we started kind of late, but I ended up fiddling with the build for a couple hours, and we ended up dropping Hurricane. We have like 1 point in Bloodhowl just because it's kind of handy. I had a reason for it. I don't really remember what it was. Oh yeah, attack speed. Attack speed's nice for the wolves. We wanted to make them attack as quickly as possible. We changed things up. We're focused a little more on lightning bolts. I ended up taking off the aspect we had here that gave us +1 werewolf, which kind of sucks. But we did it in the hopes of finding a way to deal better AoE damage. So to cause dancing bolts to spawn when our lightning bolts crit 50% of the time, which means I need normal crit chance, not just werewolf crit chance or wolf crit chance or anything like that. But if we do manage to get there to a decent crit chance, that could be pretty nice. And even without a really good crit chance, we're at like 30%, I think. But even with it down there, it's still working all right. Like it made a noticeable difference in how well we were clearing stuff. On top of that, we also changed the hurricane aspect, the one that spawns the hurricanes on the werewolves, to Runeworker's Conduit, which is crits with storm skills cause lightning bolts to periodically strike close enemies for 3 seconds. Wolves are storm skills, so that works. And yeah, it puts a stacking multiplicative modifier on lightning bolts. So for every 100 willpower we get, which means we kind of want to stack the hell out of it if we can. And while I'm thinking about it, to that end, we may as well grab some of these. Strength will get an extra 100. Why not? Why they stack differently than potions, I have no idea. I don't think I'm going to bother with the other ones. Let's grab 47 of those. So our goal today, those stack above 50. I thought 50 was the max. Anyways, today the goal is glyph levels and Obdicite, with a priority on glyph levels, because while we go after glyph levels, we also get a good chance at getting some nice ancestral gear. So that's what we're gonna do. Pits and Nightmare Dungeons. That's the plan. We'll do pits until I can't handle pits anymore, then we'll do Nightmare Dungeons until I can't do Nightmare Dungeons anymore, and then we'll go back to pits. And we'll just keep bouncing back and forth. And eventually, hopefully, potentially, possibly, we may end up feeling comfy in Torment 3. And maybe, just maybe even Torment 4. So we'll see what happens. Yesterday we were clearing Torment 3 level pits in just like almost exactly 5 minutes. Well, now we're all frozen like a bunch of doofuses. There's a purple man in there somewhere. I wonder if lightning bolts have lucky hit chance. feel like there was like no enemies in there. Werewolves, I'm gonna need you to run around a little faster than that. One thing I don't understand is why companions don't inherit your character's move speed. I have 200% move speed right now, but it's kind of pointless because my werewolves don't. We end up just constantly having to like run so far ahead of them that we leash them, or like push the right mouse button to actually get them to show up. And even then they still have to run up to like a certain range to actually do the jump thing. It's kind of another thing. Like if we have magical wolves that can just like teleport to attack things, why can't they teleport from slightly farther away? You know? You know? It's not a good spot. A little slow on that one, but you know what? Still alright. Could be far worse. We were going to prioritize whatever glyph lets me get 2 levels at a time, and that currently stops at level 21. So that was 10 glyph levels from one run. Seems pretty nice. I do kind of miss my 4th companion though, I'll be honest. The dancing bolt things are kind of okay. I feel like they're not useless, but it felt like a huge, kind of a huge loss to give up a companion. Where the fuck are my wolves? They're there, right? Oh yeah, something I forgot to mention. I guess the announcement stream for the next Diablo 4 season happened like yesterday or something. I didn't really hear about it, but beforehand anyways. But I saw Woody Joe's like very, very brief summary on Twitter of what the mechanics going to be and what the announcements were and everything. And from what that said, it sounded a whole lot like they just wanted to give us a season that's all of the previous seasons all at the same time, rather than come up with some kind of new and interesting idea, because it was like... Bro, what the fuck? The bug just tried to fly at my nose. What the hell? Because it was like, the announcement was like, a new kind of nightmare dungeon or something, like tiered nightmare dungeon. You get Astaroth at the end, and you get, like, while you go through, there's like a multi-level nightmare dungeon. So you go through, do one nightmare dungeon, get some sort of like extra modifier that you have to choose from, like choose from a couple, apply the modifier you want, do the next level, and keep doing that till you get to the bottom and fight Astaroth. Which is a whole lot like Infernal Hordes, just converted to nightmare dungeons. And then there's like some sort of new legendary socketable thing that kinda also gives you extra powers, so it's like Malignant Hearts and like boss powers all at the same time, which boss powers are just a rerun of witch powers from the season before. And so like I really need to go back and look at the exact things they're announcing, or the like I need to watch the stream for myself basically. But I will say from reading that summary, I'm not exactly hyped about it. I'll probably still play it. Whether I play it on launch, I'm not sure yet. I think they said it's gonna be July sometime, like early July. But also PoE1's starting to get their hype cycle going for their next league, which is, the name got announced, and that's Secrets of the Atlas. Good old Soda League. But their announcement stream is going to be on June 5th, and then usually, historically speaking, the league will launch the next week. So we have, what, 3 weeks until the next PoE1 league? The first league since like the middle of last year. Should be exciting. And on top of that, PoE2 just announced a bunch of upcoming changes, probably in the next week or so. And that will have, it's like more uniques getting added, like big, like ultra powerful uniques. Chase items specifically was how they were referred to. Buffing some other chase items, and they're also making them more common because they were like unattainably rare before. So that should be exciting. There was more other things announced in that update that were pretty exciting. I just don't remember what they were off the top of my head. But that's not even like a league reset or anything like that. That's just a mid-season patch for right now. So if that launches before PoE1's new league, and then I'll probably spend that week playing PoE2 just to get a look at the new stuff. See if we can find anything fancy. Oh yeah, the exciting things weren't so much. The other exciting things I just remembered were not so much things being added, but things being fixed. And I'll when we finish this, I'll probably pull up the changes that they announced, because there's a lot of stuff in there now that I think about it. But one of the things was they've improved the variety of tile sets in the Atlas. It's probably one of the things I'm most excited about. But specifically, the reason they gave for making that change is they realized that if they were to generate 400,000 maps on the Atlas, 150,000 of them would be Hidden Grotto, or 3/8 of the maps would be Hidden Grotto. And I fucking hate that place. It's like an unpleasant layout. It's dark, boring to look at, and the boss is shit. And it was 3/8 of all of the maps. Like, bro. So that's getting changed. Very excited. Another thing was they realized there's a couple things in the Trial of Sekima's that are improperly weighted, like boons, afflictions, and one greater affliction. And the boons that were getting overweighted by like a shitload, like an absurd number, were the two that always pop up, like when you get anything random, like any random boons in there, which was, and they were both really useless. It was like restore honor when you enter a boss room and restore honor when you venerate a shrine. Like those two things ultimately were like giga weighted, so they would pop up all the time. It was that's another thing that's getting fixed, and I'm very excited. Yeah, since I'm talking so much about it, let's look at the Path of Exile website. Path of Exile. Announcements. Upcoming plans for patch 0.2.1. What was it? Going to be significantly improving both the drop rates of the incredibly rare unique items we already have, as well as adding a bunch of new ones. More runes and socketable stuff. The good stuff from Ritual is more common. Essences is more common. Rogue Exiles get uniques more often. Tripling the amount of uniques that Rogue Exiles have. Buffing the Breach Stones. Buffing logbooks. So like what they said in this big pile of text is there's like 3 different logbook zones, and they each have their own specific focus, but those focuses were like not very exciting at all with the way they were implemented. And so they're like buffing the shit out of them. Like one of them has shitloads of strong boxes in gold now, and it kind of had more before, but like they weren't very exciting. And so there's just like way more now. I think that should be fun. But yeah, this right here. Second main focus is that we're going to increase the variety of running endgame maps. Right now, did you know that if you were to generate 400,000 maps, that 150,000 of them would be Hidden Grotto? I didn't, but I certainly did wonder why I was running that map so much. Evidently, they agree. The intention here is to normalize the frequency that different maps and thus boss fights appear on the Atlas. Should make things feel far less repetitive. Huge. Huge. Citadel spawning, so the endgame bosses, or the keys for the endgame boss. Whenever Citadel is generated on the Atlas, it also ensures that it generates the other 2 types of Citadels near it, so like, you won't have to go very far. You find one to find the other 2, so you should be able to fight the fireman, Arbiter of Rash, that's his name, without mapping all over the place. Yeah, another thing that got announced somewhere, it wasn't here, it was like a week or 2 ago, was they realized that the volatile plants modifier is responsible for like somewhere close to half of the deaths in the game. Or maybe right here they clarified between the purple explosions and volatile plants. I'm sorry, the purple explosions in Ritual and the Volatile Plants modifier. Those two things were responsible for over half of all of the deaths in the endgame. Heckin' bananas, dude. Nerfing dangerous map modifiers like Elipen, huge. Trialus Ekima's fixing the waiting. What was it? Oh yeah, they also nerfed the you have no energy shield. Instead, you have half of your energy shield. But on top of this, we discovered a mistake with the chances of getting certain afflictions and boons. Specifically, 1 affliction, 2 minor boons, and 1 major boon, and 1 pact had 100 times the commonality they should have. Yeah, this would have caused players to constantly be getting them as the first randomly generated outcome, and as these boons were in particular the weaker and more boring ones, it often would have made the runs less rewarding and interesting. Big true. Yeah, it got to the point where even when I was running Trial of the Second on stream, I was just like constantly talking about how you really need to go get the first 2 shitty ones to get to the actual interesting ones from any kind of like random outcome. So that should not be a problem anymore once this patch does drop. Huge improvement to searching on the passive tree. Basically, it lets you jump to the thing you search to, which is nice. Item tier, modifier tiers are getting reversed, so now tier 1 will always be the best, and higher tier numbers will be worse. So that means you'll always know which one. Like if you get a tier 1, you'll always know that's like the highest possible thing, which is great. Clearer modifier display for maps that have like a billion modifiers on them, and performance improvements, yada yada yada. Shop improvements, well. Yeah, we're hoping to deploy at the end of next week, but are keeping it flexible as it might fall in the week afterwards. So somewhere between the next week or 2, which should give us at least 1 week to play it before PoE1's next league. So that's exciting. We'll certainly give it a good look beforehand. But anyways, Diablo. Yeah, with all that, this may actually be the last week I play Diablo for now. We may swap back off to... I might just play PoE2 next week. I haven't really played it much since they did the loot patch like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So if we give that a look and then we play it on the week that they release patch 0.2.1, and then we move into PoE1 the week after that, like I feel like that could be fun. It could be a nice little balance of games. And then we'll be on PoE1 for, I don't know, probably like a month or something, unless a new thing drops. If Diablo 4 Season 9 drops like 2 weeks after the PoE League, I probably won't play Season 9 right away. Especially since, like, from what I hear, the mechanic's not going to be that crazy. Or like it might even be crazy, and I still kind of just don't want to interact with it. It's the same thing. Or rather, a combination of the same 3 things we've seen in the past, like, year. Yo, what's up, Mr. Swash? How you doing, sir? Balls deep in Elden Ring. It's a good game. Is it your first time through, or are you just getting back into it? I think I heard an announcement the other day that they're doing like a show for it or something. Yeah, it's a great game. Hell yeah. Well, what kind of build are you doing? When I went through, well, I guess my habit has been in any Souls game that has shields, i.e. everything that's not Bloodborne or I guess Sekiro. I just always go the thick chungusest that I can. Like maximum weight. Weight is the way that I rate the quality of gear in those games. The heavier the better. Uh-oh. Has you itching to make guides? Hell yeah, strength build, let's go. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of stuff you can make guides about there. And it's probably gonna see traffic for a very long time. A golden scarab talisman that gives 20% extra runes. Damn, I don't think I found that. I feel like I cleared a good portion of the game, but I definitely did not get everything. I also did not even pick the game back up for the DLC, which maybe I should have, but just have other things going on, you know? Cave gives you Scarlet Rot and boss is 2 armored guys. I know one cave that gives Scarlet Rot, but that was a story location, not so much a side location. I feel like I would remember a 2 armored guys boss fight because that sounds like Ornstein and Smoke. And I'd remember them. Which I don't. It was like 2 Ornsteins. Damn. Sounds like, I don't know, 10% familiar. Like maybe I did it, but it was so long ago. And I don't remember. Bro, lately off stream I've been getting into, or like for the past week or so I've been playing Expedition 33 off stream. That shit is insane. Find a way to not get Scarlet Rot in the cave, which makes it so much easier. That sounds like perfect material for a guide. It is, dude. I just got to the end of chapter 2 and had like a major revelations and shit going on. Like right before starting stream today. The guide for that is already up ahead. Working quick, I see, as always. Owie. Yo, what's up, Sarny? What's this build we're cooking? We got wolves, dude. We got wolves. And that's all we got right now. We got some lightning. We got some wolves. We got some more wolves, some ghost wolves, but that's about it. Lots of dogs, dude. We could have one more, but the clear is so bad on this build. Like the area clear ability is terrible. And the companion AI is tilting me to high heaven, as always. It's the reason I don't play minion builds in this game. But we're gonna stick it out because the single target damage is absurd. And you'll see when we get to the boss. Like we're 2.5 minutes into this zone, and we're only halfway through. Or not even halfway through, actually. But just wait till we get to the boss. D4 was a fun game for you. Bought it on vacation on Steam Deck. Oh, hell yeah. Did you play through the campaign, or did you skip it and just start running around the open world? Your mythic, your unique, or something that speeds up clear? Maybe? Like, when we get the Divine Arms shrine, each wolf gets its own little proc of the missiles. Or at least one missile when it attacks from the shrine. So, like, if we got Tyrael's Might, maybe, and the wolves still get the missile, then, like, maybe. Maybe that helps, but, like, if it's not something like that, then like Air of Perdition, maybe, but that wouldn't even really give us clear. That would just give us more damage, which kind of helps with clear, but like not really. It's not really how we need things. Our damage is already absurd. It just doesn't look like it. At the time, you had to do the campaign, but that was fun. Hell yeah, this is a pretty neat story. Lots of really cool cutscenes for sure. But the campaign is just the intro to the game. Brilliant, yeah. So clear is kind of what we're focusing on, and so I could have one more dog, and I'd get actually like a lot of extra damage out of that. But I'm using an aspect to trigger 3 dancing bolts 50% of the time when our lightning bolts crit. So like, when my wolves crit, I start summoning lightning bolts on stuff, and then 50% of the time that those crit, there's like 3 little extra balls that fly out and damage things, which is not like super effective, but it's more effective than what we were doing before. So I gave up a companion for that, and it's kind of working, but kind of not working that well. Originally, the idea was going to be to use Hurricane. Okay, so it took over 5 minutes to open the boss room. Watch how quickly this boss dies. There we go. Took a second for them to get there, but when they got there, it's like 4 seconds. So you'd think if it took us that long to clear the whole zone, the boss would take a while or be kind of challenging, but no, that's really not the case. It's just each of my wolves has to walk up and punch every single enemy, and their AI is shit, as always. As it always has been. So not only are they slow, they take forever to get there, they have to wind up their attack and do it to punch one little tiny skeleton or zombie or whatever, and then they have to walk around each other because they have hitboxes, prevent each other from walking places. And it's just, it's a whole thing. So Dancing Bolts is the strat. There is an ability to call them all over. Yeah, the ability that spawns them gives you the ability to do that. And like, I do that on rares. And it kind of works, but also it's like a long-ass cooldown that only sometimes gets reset. And that's still only really good for clearing elites. Which is already like not the problem we have. The problem is killing the plebs. Now, if they exploded when they did that coordinated attack and like did the damage in a wide area, that would be a different story. Did I ever mention I'm old and forget things? Are you like 30 or something? I hear 30 is the new 23. $30 feels like 40. I do like that sometimes. There's a dude in there. So like when there's one of those, I can go tell him to go get it. Get rid of that defensive aura, but other than that, we're just kind of waiting for them to do stuff. I like to run around and swing my core skill, but it does like 20,000 damage. So really, I'm just pretending it does damage. There's no real reason for me to do that. It's to feel like I'm doing something while I'm waiting for my wolves to kill stuff. It's like handing your tiny cousin a game controller to make them think they're playing the game, but it's not plugged in, you know? That kind of thing. See, like 100 million damage in one hit is great, but they have to go do it first. The ghost wolves are kind of cool. Thankfully, they don't have hitboxes that prevent each other from running around, or my normal wolves. But like, they also don't do the damage my werewolves do. Funny thing is, I have them spawn by not taking damage. So like, if I just run around and don't get hit, then we just kind of keep shitting them out constantly. It sure does. It is very helpful and unique. That's actually the only reason they can teleport at all, and I think it still functions the same as the normal like wolf jump, but it just looks cool. Hey, but what? It's called Storm Howl. You'd think that something like that would have AoE, right? Wrong. I'd be sick if it did. Or maybe it does, but not with the werewolves. What happens if I... Oh, I can't take off my weapon in a pit. Man, maybe that's the problem. Maybe we shouldn't be using the storm wolves, because it turns the the storm. It turns the wolf damage into the lightning damage. And our blue wolves are doing physical damage because they're normal wolves. They're just ghosts. And Hurricane, our original idea for clear, was also doing physical damage for some unknowable reason. I could have sworn that was doing lightning damage. Because, you know, it's a storm kind of thing. Turns out, no. The reason it was doing no damage when I had it was because all of my scaling is on lightning stuff. Because my wolves are lightning. And then I looked down and suddenly Hurricane's dealing physical damage, so that's why every tick was doing like 5,000 damage. So it all made sense. But like, yeah, if we were to get rid of the lightning stuff, not only would I be able to scale physical damage, and that would affect Hurricane, that would also affect the blue wolves. But then I would also lose 10 levels to wolves, and more actually, because if we get that greater affixed and critted 3 times, then you know, that's gonna be a lot of levels. But then we have what? Up to 8 extra wolves. Decisions. Right. I think we just need to find a way to leave it like this and also clear stuff out. See right there, bottom right? Physical damage. Disgusting. But we tried rabies. I tried lightning storm for like 0.2 seconds, but it was kind of annoying. A wind shear could be cool, but it's also physical damage. It's kind of like, why do we have all these earth skills if all of the wind abilities also do physical damage, you know? Like, where are the earth skills that deal lightning damage? The Storm Strike may not be the worst thing ever because it like bounces around and stuff. But that would also take me out of werewolf form, and then I lose Digitigrade Gate. All my move speed. Is there a way to stay in werewolf form while doing that? Is it Staff of the Crone? I thought you said Staff of the Crone sucked. I think I have one though. This one? Oh, Claw is now also a Storm skill and also casts Storm Strike. I see. I mean, this double greater affix one's kind of insane. Stop in and immediate crone hostility. I'm sorry, I was quoting Sarni. That is not my words. The problem is I would lose my two-handed weapon affix slot. So that means our wolves will actually go from 224 more damage to if I were to put it on the amulet, it would go down to like 150% or something. What's up, Dagum? How you doing? I mean, we could give it a try. If it solves my clear issues, maybe it's worth giving up the damage. But then this would go down. This damn fly. I missed. Also, CDR is not the right stat to have on there, I don't think. That was for when we had Hurricane. What is my res that's not lightning? Bias because you can't imagine playing a build with slow clear. It's 224 right now, yes sir. So I guess it would go down by 25%. 168. Thank you, sir. I mean, that's still pretty good. But then I would also lose more multiplicative damage per companion. That would go down by 30%. So it'd be like 7 point something. But that would probably let me... Yeah. Probably would let me put the additional companion back, though, so maybe it works out, because then I wouldn't have to worry about Lightning Storm. Or, Lightning Dancers. I mean, maybe that's the plan. We can try. This crone is, this copy of the crone is actually kind of insane. Spirit on Kill, gross. I may want to wear this and just like re-roll the Shadow Res or something. It's a Lightning Res we needed. But yeah, playing with slow clear is very, very sad. That's for damn sure. Ravens now deal lightning damage. Stone Burst causes enemies to take increased damage from your other skills. Boulder is now a core skill. I kind of do want to try that at some point. A Boulder core skill ability. I just deleted the crow. Oh, thank God I didn't. That scared the shit out of me. We're fine, we're fine. So if I were to put shepherds here. Would go down to 9%. That's lower than I thought. Or that's not as much of a decrease as I thought. Cool. Wait, Hurricane whips the boulders? I thought it just makes the boulders spin around you. That would look pretty funny with Hurricane on, actually, though. I'm an alpha. Who knows? With how things change all the time, you never really do you? 201 is the actual number. Again, less than I thought. Less of a loss than I thought, I mean. Oh, maybe I had a better roll this whole time. Oh, hold up. Yeah, I did. I did have a better roll. Well, now it's that number. It would have been 268 had I updated it when it got improved. Oh, well. So, like, if I were to put points into... Do I need to put points into Storm Strike? I was kind of throwing points around because I was really unsure where to put them. Maybe we can take this shit out. I don't actually care about Blood Howl all that much. I'm still using Runeworker conduits. But we could honestly change that too. Which would, like, if we were to give up on lightning bolts entirely, we would free up that, and this. Oh wait, no, we should do that because my wolves are storm skills. Or we could take pure vulnerable from there. But I'd kind of rather the 2 additional chains if our problem is clear. Could also take these out. That's really not doing a damn thing. Why am I not using that? We may as well, it's passive. Pulls in enemies rather than knocking back and grants you damage reduction. Heck, why not? We still have 2 points. Shit. Back in there. So we need Claw. We're gonna go do a Nightmare Dungeon to test this, because that's easier, because we can at least adjust in there. Let's see it. Let's see it. Pause champ? Pause champ. I don't have pause champ. What the hell? I'm still doing 5,000 damage a hit. We are immobilizing everything, though. That's kind of funny. Yeah, we're doing like 4,000 a hit there. Not exactly ideal when enemies have several million health each. I really don't know why that damage is still so low. I mean, it's level 18, and it's benefiting from all of our storm scaling and all of our wolf scaling as well. So like, what the hell, man? Then again, it is still doing physical damage. What, can we take this off and make them go away? Yeah, even Storm Strike is doing like 8,000 damage. Yeah, at least we tried it. What's the lucky hit chance on that? 72 and 36. If nothing else, we're probably proccing those a shitload. So maybe it's worth it to put... yeah. I guess the question is what other basic skill stuff would we use even? Crits with shred deal damage as lightning damage. That's probably not it. Storm Strike chains to twice as many targets and increases the damage of that targets take from the other skills by 38%. I mean, maybe that would be worth using. That could replace rune workers or whatever, which I don't think I did. Yeah, I did not. I was supposed to put the extra companion thing on there. Crits with storm skills cause a lightning bolt to periodically deal damage. That's what we have on already. Moonrise, but yeah, Moonrise would be useful, I suppose. But I don't know if that's enough to go from 5,000 to 5 million, you know. You know. Yeah, I kind of want to use the Storm Strike thing, but I don't remember what it was called. Impending Deluge. Changes twice as many targets, increases damage targets take from your other skills by 38%, up to 50% for 6 seconds. But like, that won't boost the damage of Storm Strike itself. And if we're looking to buff the damage of our werewolves, Stampede would be better. Even at only 24%, because maybe it would just slightly be worse. No, it would be better because we get 24% more damage there. Plus, we have that other one here that is skills. Companion skills deal an additional 9% damage per companion you have. So having one extra companion would give us 27% more damage, I guess. It's like 9% to each of them. I don't know if that's the right way to count that. And then the wolf itself would also benefit from that 9%. Well, no, it probably wouldn't count like that. So it's 9% plus the 24 to each of them. Staff of the Crone propaganda. I mean, it was worth trying. At this point, I'm desperate for ideas. Well, at least run out this nightmare dungeon. Related to this particular build, but you were right. The Dolmen Stone neck unique makes so if you cast Boulder while Hurricane's active, the active will whip it around you for the duration. Ah, gotcha. I thought it was just an aspect. That is pretty funny. Wow, region rewards for Skazglin. Give me my 1000 XP. More damage for each boulder in orbit. Damn. Yeah, boulder was the first thing I wanted to try and do. And it was so bad when I walked into the first dungeon that it was... I teleported out and changed immediately. At least the way I had it set up was entirely incorrect. Max is only 10 boulders? Let us have at least 100. Come on now. Why does Blizzard hate us? And fun. Mulling over Druid builds. Bro, there's a lot of cool options for the class, but some things just feel limited. Shepherds. Yeah, Tornado Wolf. I believe that was both season 0 and season 1. Had people soloing world bosses with that shit. So we had dancing whatevers. See, Wolfstrain was the thing I wanted to rely on first. But yeah, having my wolves do lightning damage and then Hurricane do physical damage just doesn't work at all. It is simply impossible. Lightning Dancers is the name. Earth and Might keep passive. I feel like I look at this every time I say that, or I see that, and I just don't want to look at it. 15% chance to restore all your spirit, cause your attacks to be guaranteed crits, and deal 70% more crit damage for 5 seconds. Chances is increased by 15% for crits if the target, and 15% if the target stunned, immobilized, or knocked back. One additional companion deal 80% more damage. And you gain the passives of these, which is 2 ravens. I've never seen the poison creepers. If they are there, they're quite stealthy. Yeah, I played Druid in season 0, but I was playing Pulverize. Full werebear. Weird, because usually you can see them in town. Yeah, I haven't really noticed the ravens either, honestly. Full stinky spec? No. I don't want to do a stinky creeper build. That wouldn't be very nice, would it? I mean, I suppose there's no reason for me to use Petrify over Cataclysm, right? Casting Petrify resets all your non-ultimate cooldowns. Duration increased by 4 seconds. Cataclysm makes enemies vulnerable for 6 seconds. Maybe that would be better for clear, though. We're trying shit. We may as well try this. I still have points in all this. Maybe do I try the creepers? I don't know how often I do that. I know I freeze stuff for some reason. I don't even know how I freeze stuff in all honesty. Embrace my inner Stimky? Maybe. Let's try it. We're trying shit, right? I really just don't like this lightning business. Oh no, that's good. So yes, we do immobilize stuff, so we should leave that. Put the points back in the damn ravens. Is there a single damn druid build that doesn't use Bestial Rampage? Mine. Werebear grants 40% increased damage and Werewolf grants 30% attack speed? But yeah. I like one with nature. Putting the damn ravens back on there. Every build you dig through just has you constantly shapeshifting to keep that key passive. I really hate that kind of thing. Barbarian has some stuff like that. Rogue has some stuff like that, I think. I hate that kind of thing. It's too much hassle to think about whether or not I'm doing the right thing. Where's the commitment? For real. I think Spiritborn has some shit like that. Speaking of commitment. Alright, where are these? Where's these little stinkers? I see the birds finally. I think I just saw a creeper. Feels so. Oh, dude, that rat just got zapped by lightning. I feel bad. Rest in peace, Ratto, for real. Bro caught a stray. Cataclysm is not as drastic as I expected it to be. I kind of expected it to be a giant, like, constant degen aura around me. Cooldown's only 30 seconds though. I see. They're all there. I mean, Cataclysm sounds cool if only it did anything. Like, I think it spawned us a tornado for half a second and like 3 lightning bolts. Maybe I just need to keep spamming poison creepers. And even that's not really doing all that much. It's like the Ravens are doing 60k a tick with their active. For a brief moment, I was terrified Cataclysm was doing physical damage. Because I saw the tornado. Well, I was supposed to gamble a long time ago. I meant to gamble when I started the stream. Yet. That's not right. Hmm. I'm gonna put Stampede back on. So now we have 4 perma wolves, so we can get up to 8. That applies to both of those. .406% versus still 406%. I kind of want to get rid of this lightning business here. Did I ever try overcharged? I meant to. I think I did, and I wasn't that excited. We'll give it another shot with things set up like this, though. I also wanted to take Cataclysm back off because that was cheeks. Petrify is good enough for me. What about in here? Is there something here we can do? You gain excess primary resource. It's kind of slow still. We could try the Harbinger of Hatred's volley. Damaging a vulnerable enemy, shoot piercing projectiles that last 1.3 seconds. It's fire damage though, so it's like not the most exciting thing ever for us. That can probably only proc once every 1.3 seconds, but we'll see what happens. I think we can probably do a pit here. Also, we should remove that vulnerable thing. Rather, I think I want to wear this amulet, but I kind of want to see what it turns into. Harbinger hits like a truck for you on your Firebolt Zork build, but yeah. We don't really have that fire scaling. We do have some non-physical scaling. And boss powers just do a lot of damage anyways. So it's not... like, there's a chance it's useful. I don't even remember. I don't even remember what any of these do. Armor would put me over armor cap for sure. Could get the CDR back. But I don't know how much I care about that. Kind of feel like I don't care about it at all. Great chance would be nice. I don't know what Call of the Wild does, but we'll take that. Ah, you know what? That's pretty good. 12% damage per level. I like that. I like that quite a bit. We'll go with it. I'll even delete this immediately. Like I gave a fuck. I don't know. I was supposed to wait a minute before I did that. I forgot what I had tempered. Oops. What was that looking at? Probably was not those. Werewolf attack speed, werewolf crit chance. I think I probably had crit chance. And attack speed. That's probably the two I had. Definitely don't need move speed. I think that is what we're gonna do. Hmm. Fuck! I don't have any more things. I should have just left it. I still have tempers on this. That works. Yeah, that's not my favorite ever. Oh well. We can do a Infernal Horde at some point. I think we're gonna do rings. I'm sorry. Am I really wearing a ring with Spirit on Kill greater affix? Like increased damage is not that exciting. But Spirit on Kill is even less exciting. Also, we would go under cap on fire res, but I could just change this to cold res and then we'd be golden. I'll also be losing a little bit of life as well, which isn't that great. I'd actually have to masterwork that to make it not put me under cold cap. Also, do I even have the gems for Grand Ruby? Maybe. I do. So I guess I'm re-rolling that crit damage into something else? Maybe? Crit chance would be kind of nice over crit damage. I took off the willpower scaling thing, so we don't necessarily need that quite as much. Maybe max life is okay for now. Because we also took off the other thing that really required me to have a lot of normal crit chance. I already have quite a bit of wolf and werewolf crit chance, so not too worried about that. Hurricane CDR werewolf critical strike chance. So we already know we don't want Hurricane CDR anymore. And this is the one that didn't have any tempers left on it, so that's good. Crit chance, yes. Petrify. Thank you. They're low rolls, but after what happened on the last thing I tempered, we're not going to risk that again. Throw this in there. Whoops. Break that. Slightly under cap on cold now, but we'll fix it in a minute. Gloves. Let's do those next. Yo, first one's greater affix. Double greater affix, hello? Normal crit chance plus shadow res. It's not that exciting. This has a lucky hit chance. I kind of care about those things more than I care about the primary resource restore, but I'm not like over the moon to have those. What is the actual amount of crit I have for my wolves? From Tempers. 9.3. That is 19.7. We're missing one there. 19.7 plus 6.9, nice. 26.6. Uh, 31.1 plus 28.3, so that'd be 59.4. So critical chance would not be useless. But I probably will re-roll that Shadow Res, even though it feels like heresy to get rid of a greater affix. And we will put it on what? We could take armor. That would cap us for sure. Oh, can boots have armor? They can. In werewolf form, I am capped. But Digitigrade gate gives us 72% right now. So that would not be enough to remain capped even after losing that 31% move speed. If we could get more levels to that passive, like so many that were at move speed capped, but like with just that, then I'll probably take the move speed off my boots. But for now, I think we'll put the armor here. Maybe. I didn't think it'd be so hard to roll armor. At least it's a decent roll when we get it. This is supposed to have Stampede on it. Firebolt build is better than you thought. Can actually solo Duriel without too much trouble. Ah, hell yeah. Congratulations. They grow up so fast. Crit chance. Poison damage. I've seen this movie before and I didn't like the ending. Please, I'm begging. I'm begging. Let's go. They were just trying to keep us in suspense. More crit chance. Let's go. Give me Call of the Wild. It's not Call of the Wild. We go game. That is still not. We can do it. Thank you. Heck. I don't want to do it again. We'll go with that for now. Is my cold capped yet? It is. Of concussive strikes. That's not correct. Oh, my stuff's all fucked up. I put Stampede on, but not the other ones. This one was Alpha? No, it was not. It had Companion in it. Shepherds, that's the one. And this one was supposed to be... Moon Rage. I mean, maybe we go try an Infernal Horde. Although if I do an Infernal Horde, I'm probably going to kick it down to Torment 2. One away from the big one. But yeah, I need to fix that temper. Losing an entire temper slot to some bad luck doesn't feel good at all, and that does it. We'll just do a 6-wave one. I don't really care what the reward we get is, so long as we can open the box. Alright, well, go have fun, kids. I mean, Harbinger of Hatred thing is doing like over 1 million damage still, so that's cool. AO Poison Creeper is actually kind of doing damage. Imagine that. We're doing a companion build and our companions are doing damage. That's wild. Didn't get a mythic from Duriel, but you did get an Igni rune. Those are... I'm sure they are good for something. Maybe not a whole lot of things, but something for sure. Probably at least whatever it says on the tin, it's good for. This does feel a lot better than however we had things set up before. I don't think Harbinger of Hatred is doing like insane amounts of work, but having all of the companion skills plus that, it's working out. And then we're also back on Stampede, so we have our full complement of wolves again. We just need what, like 250? Or 200? I don't remember what it is to open the box. Man, this is the worst possible combination of shit I could have asked for. Nice. Like, genuinely, those are all entirely worthless. It literally did not matter what I clicked. Well, I just realized why things are dying so quickly. I kicked it down Torment too. That's why. It all makes sense now. We got the Heckborn. Nice. I'm a little more confident we'll be able to get the... or a little more hopeful we'll be able to get enough ether to do what I want. To get what I need. Yeah, we like doubled our stuff there. Isn't Andariel way worse to farm than Duriel? Yes. I would have to agree with that statement. Andariel, you can sometimes skip the third phase, which is nice, but her mechanics are way more dangerous and buggy as well. Duriel's is way easier to deal with, and it's even if you're forced to deal with the third one all the time, it's like way less toxic. I got you, I got you. I think the chance to skip the third phase is not worth the risk. And honestly, even if I have the the survivability to not have to worry about it somehow, it's really annoying when you don't get the phase skip and she goes and disappears with 0 health. That doesn't happen with Duriel. It's just a constant like stream of being annoyed that I have to wait for 3 fucking phases. Thought this wave ended like an entire minute ago. Let's go. Give me my scroll. Oh, that's 2. That's 3. Wow. Yeah, yo, 3 greater affixes. Don't mind if I do. Wow. Questionable, but okay. 24 maximum resource, 6 spirit per second, and +4 to poison creeper. I don't know what kind of build you'd rock that with, but we'll keep it. It's only 200, by the way. Not 250. Overpower damage, maximum life, or maximum life. Give me that, Dusty. Now to fix our tempering. We just have to hit 1 roll. Like what's the worst that could happen, right? You couldn't possibly go wrong a second time. Right? Bro. It will never not piss me off that I can't use Scrolls of Restoration with the blacksmith window open. Hashtag clueless. Hashtag famous last words. Let's fucking go! We did it. We did it. Easy. That's right. Second try. Shadow res, that's entirely useless. I mean, 2 out of 3 is nice on this. Not the craziest thing ever, though. But yeah, we still need wolves on my helmet. That's what we want instead of CDR. Good old wolves. What's this? Retribution. Also retribution. Max roll retaliation. I'm good. I'm good. Let's see how we do. Yeah, let's go to Torment 3 and turn that in. Pretty sure changing difficulties is supposed to reset your whispers, but it does not. Maybe it still gives you rewards for whatever tier you completed the thing in, but I have no way to tell the difference, so I'm gonna pretend everything's the way I want it to be. Alright, we gambled, we fixed my tempering, we replaced some pieces of gear. Now we're gonna go do another torment. Pit. See how we feel with this setup. It felt pretty good in Torment 2. Wolves, please, I'm begging. Don't get caught in the doors. Ah! Harbinger of Hatred is less effective here. Understandably so. We just need something. This is going quite a bit faster, actually. Turns out, yeah, Poison Creeper's still full poisoning things. Even in Torment 3. At least non-elites. Didn't realize how much I can actually spam Petrify if we use it in large groups. It's kind of nice. Way better than Cataclysm, I'll tell you that much. Saved a minute and a half or so. Okay, bye. The thing is, the boss dies just as quickly as the trash mobs. That's kind of the funny thing about our damage. Also, what glyphs are we even using? I don't. Nature magic skills deal increased damage to CC or vulnerable enemies. That's fine. Wolves are nature magic, believe it or not. These two are not, but whatever. Lightning damage to both healthy and injured enemies. You and your companions deal 15% increased non-physical damage, so get fucked, Ravens, I guess. Crit damage, crit strikes increase the damage an enemy takes from you by some stuff. I'm not 100% certain that works with companions, but I think it should. Passive portion of companion skills deals increased damage. Is there a different one? Damage to elites. Poisoning lasts longer. Double poisoning damage over the same duration. Enemies damaged by lightning bolts or dancing bolts take 20% increased damage from you. Exploit. While in werewolf or werebear form, close enemies take increased damage from you. No. Potion healing, damage reduction in human form, physical to non-elites and bosses. Barrier on shapeshift. You gain plus 20% lucky hit chance. Increases earth skill damage. Also earth skill crit damage for the other bonus. Damage reduction against close enemies with vulnerable bonus. Have I tried Boulder Druid? For about 30 seconds when I made this character, yes. And I would still like to do it. But I need Druid. I need this character somewhere that I can farm stuff so I can make the gear for the Boulder Druid before actually trying it. Like if I can make a full loadout for it and then put it on and swap back and forth between that and a build that I'm certain functions, then I'll be a lot more comfy doing it. One day. Damage reduction in werewolf form. Also damage while in werewolf form. But yeah, to level this character up, I did the open 27 whisper caches, and so I just took this character from 1 to 60 immediately, and I just threw on a bunch of gear and threw all the points in different places that I thought sounded good, and then walked into a dungeon with Boulder, and I couldn't even kill, like, I couldn't kill anything. If you get Dolmen's Stone and Vasili's Prayer. We were just talking about Dolmen's Stone earlier. I gotta look at Vasili's Prayer again, though. I think I have one. I've not gotten Dolmen's Stone yet. Or did I? I gotta look. Oh yeah, there it is. Casting Boulder while Hurricane is active causes the boulder to rotate instead. Up to 10 active boulders. Vasili's is right there. Defensive posture, what's that? I feel like if I hit the defensive button, it's not going to count it. That's pretty solid, Bro, the lack of a search bar is the worst. Any Druid build that can overpower needs hella max life. Is that what you scale off of? Right. More fortify from all sources, and you gain 9% damage reduction while fortified. Overpower scales off of fortified life as well, right? Yeah, so that's why you want Vasilis. Gotcha, gotcha. I appreciate it, but I'm just gonna keep farming with this. Can turn a single spark into a random mythic cache. Wait, can you really? I forgot about that too. Is it worth turning your 2 sparks into Gamba caches? Maybe? Because if it lets you skip the runes. Oh no, it's 2 sparks for 50 million gold. But you skip the runes. Basically every druid build scales off of fortify. I mean, mine doesn't. I know, sorry, I'm tempted. I'm tempted. Because I don't really feel like I have anywhere near enough chance to get enough legendary runes to make the thing that I want. Might you see all of it? I'm kind of tempted to. I feel bad not having any mythic uniques this long into the season. If Fortify was so good, why didn't they make 5 to buy? You know what? That's a good question, but also maybe because Fortify was perfect, so they didn't need another one. Now, but they got Tree Fitty, true. At least the Loch Ness Monster does. What get we ball? What'd you get? What'd you get? Let me guess. Fucking Andariel's Visage. Doombringer. Sequels are always better. That is a hot take, sir. Hair the very fabric of time itself. And maybe. Also, I didn't watch the stream yesterday, but I think they mentioned something about, sorry, the D4 dev stream yesterday. But I think they mentioned something about overpower scaling being adjusted next season. I really do need to go back and watch that. I had no idea what was happening yesterday. But I saw Woody Joe's little summary on Twitter. And I saw several things that I'm concerned about that I actually kind of want more information about. Gonna be hot doo-doo next season, unfortunately. Because it was hot shit in season 0 when I tried an overpower build too. Like it was terrible. I never even heard of this mythic till now. Is it Jover? Maybe. I mean, okay. You were not using your resplendent sparks before. So you didn't lose anything. It's not Jover. We're back. We're so back. Overpower's dominating this season, and they want to change the meta. Well, if it's too far out of line, I can understand that. But that would sound like something it would just turn the numbers down a little bit rather than like completely rework it. So I gotta go rewatch that, or I gotta go watch it in the first place. More damage over time builds or pure crits. I feel like the only builds that don't want crit are the ones that can't crit. but yeah. I don't know how I would feel about a damage over time season. I don't know. The more I hear about this season, the less excited I am for it. Don't suppose you can salvage it for 2 sparks back, can you? No. You can get 1 back though. Which that makes me makes me realize I have 3 sparks, so I could re-roll once. Okay, sorry, since you did it, we'll gamba after this bit. I'm a sucker for peer pressure. Not gonna lie, I kind of thought damage over time builds were gonna be really good this season because of all the boss powers that are just like do more damage over time. I feel like a third of them are just boosting damage over time builds in some way. It kind of annoyed the shit out of me early on. How high can we go? Oh, 31. Before we lose our 100%. What are those? They're shit. Hate to see it. Alright. Give me this stuff. I will take Ethereal's Might. Thank you very much. With 4 greater affixes? Fuck, dude. Shattered Vow, really? We go again. Whoop. Both got pranked? We did. But we just had to get the bad one out of the way. So we could get Air of Perdition right here. Again? Bro! Come on, like, give me a different one at least. How many mythic uniques in Diablo 4? Wildhead says there are currently 12 different mythic uniques available in the game. Failing 2, 1, and 12. Getting the same result on 2, 1, and 12 rolls is like 1 in 144. That feels awful. Get the fuck out of my inventory. 100 million for nothing. I got 100 mil. I spent 100 million gold for 1 spark, and it was a spark I already had. Like if it was a different shit one, then I wouldn't have been that upset. But like, okay. Sarni, why would you do this to me? I take no responsibility for my own actions. Why did you make me gamble? I demand a 500-word essay on peer pressure. Well, I wasn't using my Resplendent Sparks anyway, so I guess I didn't really lose shit. Bro, I can't believe we got Shattered Vow twice. That was like, when I said you're gonna get Andario's Visage from your box, Sarni, I was trying to remember the name of Shattered Vow to say that because of how shit it is. Maybe it's karma for thinking that in the first place. I deserved it. Yeah, see, we got the artillery shrine, and the wolves are triggering it. So if we had gotten Tyrael's Might, we could see if they still do that, which would be insane. But unfortunately, no dice. Gonna get a new mythic drop after this pit? Yeah. Yep. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time I dropped a mythic unique from something that's not the boss that drops mythic uniques. Back before they made mythic uniques purple, I dropped a Melted Heart of Selig in Season 0. Before people really knew Goober uniques existed. And like a dumbass, I think I vendored it. The Melted Heart of Selig isn't like the craziest thing, but like back at the time it would have been kind of useful. And then like the day after that happened, they announced, yeah, we made mythic uniques that are like giga rare and really strong, and so you should probably keep them if you find them, and these are what they are. And I was like looking at the list, and Melted Heart of Selig was on there, and I was like, fuck, what have I done? Story interrupted by government mandated Spanish McDonald's ads on your stream? Look, classic. We go again. I did level up my shit after that, right? Sincerely hope I did. I think I did. We're gonna assume I did. I'm me gustaing it. Hell yeah, dude. Is that... That's not what the tagline is in Spanish, is it? Me gustaing it? Surely not. That would be really funny though. But yeah. In Season 0, I got a Melted Heart of Selig before people, before Blizzard even really acknowledged that they added super rare, super strong uniques. And the day I got mine, I like disenchanted it or vendored it or something. Because I thought, this isn't that useful for my build currently, so I don't really want it. I'll get rid of it. And then the next day they announced, this is all of the super rare, super strong shit. And you should keep it if you find it. And like at the time there was one person ever recorded who had found a Harlequin crest, like that kind of rare. And so I was kind of kicking myself, even though Melted Heart of Selig isn't like the craziest thing ever. But I then made a video about it, telling that exact story, and made like a dramatic retelling and stuff. Like cut the color out and like showed my genuine reaction for when it happened. And that video got like 10,000 views or something, so I guess it worked out. The thing is, when I cut to the dramatic retelling, or the dramatic reenactment, I put a big sign on the screen that said, "This is a dramatic retelling, not actual footage." And then there were still people in the comments saying like, "Bro, this is totally edited. Like this isn't real footage. This isn't real. What are you talking about?" Bro, did you watch the video? Did you read? I mean, I don't read, so I really shouldn't assume other people read. But sometimes I forget, you know? Made a fake video like that. That's the thing. A lot of people didn't believe me because I don't have proof, and like, that's fine. But it still happened. It doesn't change the fact that I'm in pain. I just needed to get that out into the world. You'll never forgive me. Yeah, it's my fault. Me, the first person to ever spread misinformation on the internet. An unforgivable offense. Again. More pits. Is there no spot right here that says where or what level this glyph is? It says right there. Not right there. There's some things I really hate about the Diablo 4 UI, I'll be honest. think we're getting faster, but that's probably because of the glyphs. Oh. The thing is, do we raise the tier when I hit level 31? So actually, when I do this next one. When all of them are 31. Kinda tempting. I want to say once per account per season, but I don't know that for sure. Most of the time I forget that's a thing. I am not a reliable source for that information. Why am I walking around uncapped on lightning riz? Oh. Because that's still not enough, that's why. I need 530 dex, 510 int. We could go up to ferocity. That's probably not a terrible node. Also 25, 20 willpower. Sheesh. It really bothers me that enemies still wiggle while they're petrified. Petrify is really just a stun that also turns them like gray, but they still wiggle, so that it doesn't feel like they're actually petrified. They're more petrified when they're frozen than they are when they're petrified. I don't know why they didn't use that effect. Uh-oh. That was scary for a second. I think my wolves don't do damage to things inside the bubble if I'm not also inside the bubble. So maybe this is just an all-companion build. Maybe that's the proper way to label it. Man, we found the dead end. I thought for sure it'd be at the top. I didn't want the dead end. I wanted the alive end. Easy. No ancestrals. I think we should at least try like 5 tiers higher. Let's see how that goes. Yep, stuff's still dying. Kind of. Get him, get him. Wait, my wolves really just stopped to attack a flower. That's fucked up. For multiple reasons. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and leave. We did it. The boss still got dumpstered. That's a good sign. It actually, we still did it in 11:40. It was 11:49. The door opened. That gives us 5 more guaranteed levels. Was it 46 is their legendary upgrade? Considering we're running tier 45 right now, it's probably a good chance that we'll be able to get to 46, even if it's like a 70% success rate by that point. Even if it goes as low as 40, it still will be doable. It'll just be annoying as shit. But it's good to know we're within spitting distance of legendary glyphs. That'll be a pretty major improvement. Man, I feel like there's so much delay between me pushing a button on this this build and that ability actually going off. A lot of times to get like the vine creepers to go off, I have to push a button like 4 times. And I didn't feel like the abilities were that unresponsive on like any of the other builds I've done, so I don't know if that's just a Druid thing. If they get caught in their animations way more often, I don't know. But it doesn't feel very good, I'll tell you that. Never had that feeling? Gotcha. It could just also be because the rogue had some pretty high attack speed. And a lot of the builds I do, or I've been doing, have had really high attack speed. So there's not much delay on that kind of thing. And this does not, so it takes a little bit of time. We did it. So if we go to 40, I'm sorry, if we go to 50, we should be able to get to 41 at 100% chance. And then only get down to like 90, going up to 46 from there. But I don't necessarily want to go any higher than I have to, any earlier than I have to. So we're gonna keep doing 45 until I get everything to 36. So 3 more runs. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of forgot that I upgraded the tiers on like that second run I did. Kinda thought we were still doing tier 40. Which I suppose is a good sign. I'll try lead build for barbarians since you got Fields of Crimson. It's worth a shot. I mean, you have a barb already, so you can just do like make a separate loadout, right? Without having to completely delete your current build or like make an entirely new character. When you save a loadout, there's like a little thing you can click on in town. I'll show you when I get out of here. Two seconds. This will go up here. In Karagar, I think it's over here. Yeah, I accidentally clicked on this like all the time. It's called the Armory. Armory allows you to save, load, and name favorite builds. Loadouts include equipment, skills, class mechanics, and Paragon. So save that, saves all your stuff. You go to a new one. Oh no, then you change your stuff yourself through the other like just change your gear, change your points in the normal ways, and then save it again over here onto a new slot, and then you can just swap between them by pressing equip. And if you have gear that's like for a different loadout in your stash or something, it'll put that this little icon in the bottom right so that you don't like accidentally get rid of gear from a different loadout. Like a couple of seasons ago. I think they added it like 3 seasons ago, and then it was kind of bugged. So they disabled it again, and then they fixed it like a season or 2 later. It's had a tumultuous history, to say the least. But it is very handy. I think it was really settled and like out for real like 2 seasons ago. There we go. It doesn't do the most damage, but really, I'm having a lot of fun using Poison Creeper. It's nice to just be able to immobilize everything. Between that, Petrify, and whatever the freeze thing we have going on is, we have quite a lot of crowd control in this build, actually. Though I still have no idea what's causing that freeze. I'll be perfectly honest. Whee! Alright, I think I'll do one more, get ourselves to 36, and then we'll call it a night to continue tomorrow. But tomorrow we'll definitely get all of our glyphs up to 46, for sure. One way or another, whether we bash our heads against tier 45, all the way up to glyph level 46, or if we go higher, whatever happens, we'll get it. So I'm pretty confident in the build's ability to get there. Maybe we should at least try one tier 50 tonight. Okay, well, we'll do one more after this one at tier 50 just to see how that goes. Because if we can do tier 50, then I'm like real confident we'll have minimal trouble getting to 46 tomorrow. And then if we're actually feeling just as comfortable in 45 as we are, I'm sorry, in 50 as we are in 45 right now, then we're only like a stone's throw away from Torment 4. Which that alone, like, going from 50 to 55 is probably going to be a much bigger step than 45 to 50. just because going over the hurdle of the actual difficulty level usually adds quite a bit of difficulty, but I think we're not terribly far off from handling Torment 4. Which will be great because Obdicite farming is much easier in Torment 4 than it is in any other Torment difficulty. So honestly, anytime we've been doing Nightmare Dungeons on this character, it's felt really bad to me because we're not on Torment 4. But if we can just get our toes in that difficulty and survive, we'll farm there and then really get our masterworking fixed up. We'll get those triple crits, or at least a double crit on Call of the Wild. No problem. No problem. I'm surprised we can use consumables in the pit now that I think about it. Not even a small problem. Whoa there, buddy. We missed one. That was close. Alright. One more. We're gonna see if we can handle tier 50. I'm confident, but a little nervous. The boss I'm not even the slightest bit worried about, but if clearing starts to feel like really shit, then it's just gonna be a terrible time. Nope, seems like we're fine. It's a little slower than before, or like noticeably slower than before, but not so slow as to be horrendous. I think probably the breakpoint for what makes my clear feel tolerable on this build versus not that great is whether or not our wolves can one-shot the little enemies. If they can, it's like still not great, but it's okay. If they can't, or like the more hits it takes above 1, the worse our clear feels. And right now it's like 2 or 3 hits, it looks like. So it's tolerable. But yeah, 55 would probably be a stretch for us right now. We might be able to clear it, but I think it would take a really long time and feel terrible. Which is not exactly how I want to feel going into Torment 4. Good enough. Turns out we can just spam ravens. I didn't even think about that because we reset the cooldown all the time. That's a lot of ravens. I bet I don't do more damage. 1.2 million damage over 6 seconds is 200,000 damage per second. Which isn't like nothing, but it's not the greatest either. Yep. Boss, still not even the slightest problem. Yeah, alright. So that should put us at 90% chance, I think all the way up to 46, as far as I understand it. Seems good to me, boss. So I guess that's what our first objective will be tomorrow. So, look forward to that. But for now, we're going to go ahead and call it a night here. So, appreciate y'all watching. Hope you've enjoyed. If you did not already, make sure to smack the follow button if you're watching on Twitch. The like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. And like I said, we'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern U.S. time. Eastern Daylight Time, whatever you want to call it, to continue. Like I said, we're getting legendary glyphs tomorrow, which will be a huge increase. And honestly, that might be enough to push us into Torment 4. And who knows what shenanigans we'll get into after that. Our next big goal after legendary glyphs, whatever difficulty we end up in, is going to be masterworking 12 out of 12 for sure. So yeah, that's where we're at, and that's where we'll be tomorrow. So you have yourselves a good night, and I'll see you then.